All right. Hello, hello, hello. We are live and it is that time. Super, super excited. Going to give it a couple of minutes for people on all of the different social media platforms. Time to kind of catch up, get on, and get started with your hellos and letting me know that you are here. I see some people have already hopped on as far as IG. So, hi, everybody. If you want to join us, we are on YouTube and also in the Prep to Pro Facebook group. We have a great evening in store. Hopefully, people will be joining us. I know that it's a Friday night and you might have other plans, but for me here in West Virginia, it's too cold to be anywhere other than inside. So I am inside and we are going to go ahead and get started in just a little bit as soon as we get more people on. Hello, I see people already on. Miss Mayo, hello. Julia, hello, hello. Super excited, guys. If you can, just give me a hello, give me a wave so that I know that you can hear me and that all is good. And then we're going to go ahead and jump in and get started. Hello, Aaliyah. Super glad that everyone is on and has already joined us. So awesome. So I do want to congratulate our winners last night. Two people went home with $1,000 scholarships. And what's even cooler is that we finished last night and I went into our inbox at info@sidelineprep.com and both young women had already emailed us basically saying, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Can't wait to get started. Let me know what the next steps are. So I know that there's a lot of energy right now in our community. I know that there are a lot of you all that are really stepping into the next level you, and I'm so excited for you. I'm so proud of you. Because let me just keep it real. A lot of people out there are okay with status quo. A lot of people want to stay comfortable. A lot of people are in this box and they are used to being in the box and they don't want to push the limits. They are comfortable being comfortable, right? And they like it that way. And that's okay because not everybody wants to jump into that 2.0 version of yourself. So I'm not judging and I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But the people that I tend to attract, as far as within the sideline prep community, I tend to attract people that are ready for the next level. So in the chat over here, give me some emojis, some hearts, drop it in the chat and just let me know, are you ready for the next level you? And what I've seen Monday through tonight is that you most definitely are ready for that next level you. And if you are ready for the 2.0 version of yourself, if you are ready for the pro level version of yourself, the next level version of yourself, the more enhanced, the better, the more innovative, the more empowered version of yourself, then you are in the right place because that's what I'm about. That's what our community is about. That's what our accountability coaches are about. We actually have an amazing, amazing accountability coach that is going to be joining us in just a few minutes. Taylor B. She's one of our coaches. And as you can see, absolutely gorgeous on the inside and out. And that's the thing that I absolutely love about her. She is a former professional dancer for 3 NFL teams, guys, 3 NFL. And so within our community, that really is what it's all about. It's about recognizing a goal, a dream that you have, and then saying to yourself, you will accomplish it. And you will not let anything get in the way of you accomplishing it. You won't say, oh, it's a Friday night. I don't want to be on live with Sideline Prep. I have other things I could do. I could be binging on Netflix or I could be out drinking with my friends. But instead, Aaliyah, Canton, Michelle, Julia, Maeve, let's see, who else? Rubilani, Stacy, all of you all are here with me right now, right? You all are here right now showing up for yourself, showing up for your goals, and showing up for your dreams. And that's what it's all about, guys. Life is too short. Life is too short, right? And every single day, we should try to make it the best day ever. We most definitely should make it the best day ever. So I'm just really excited that we have so many people over here on IG Live and then obviously on YouTube and as well Facebook. For anyone in Facebook, I just dropped a link so that we want to see your name and be able to see who you are. You can click on that link and it will allow us to be able to see you, which a lot of you all have already done. So super excited. All right, guys. So listen, we have so much that I want to cover tonight, but the main event, like like I mentioned, is getting Taylor on. So I want to make sure that we have plenty of time for Q&A, and that you have plenty of time to ask her any questions that you might have of her. So what I want to do is obviously get into our actual handbook, the workbook, so that you can go ahead and we can go over the content, right? So that you can jot down all of your notes and have all of that information right there at your disposal. So we will go ahead and do that. So if you can, go ahead and grab your workbook, because we are going to jump in and start working on all of the things to talk about for tonight. Okay. If you have any questions as I'm going through any of this, feel free, obviously, to put your question in the chat, and I will try to get to those questions, obviously, as soon as I can. But, obviously, guys, we are here for you. This is for you, about you. But at the end of the day, we can only provide information. We can only educate. We can only share our knowledge and skills. We can only, drop, some gold nuggets on you. You've got to pick them up. All right. You've got to pick them up, and you've got to actually do something with it. Right. So it's not enough to hear it. It's not enough to write it down. It's not enough to say, oh, that's a good tip, or, oh, that's great. I need to remember that. Right. Yes, I agree, Gabby. I love Taylor. She's a superstar. She most definitely is. And she's coming on in just a little bit. So it's not enough to just hear it. Right. It's not enough to just write it down. You have to take action. Okay. So I talked about it on day one. You have to have faith in yourself and know that you can and will accomplish your goals. Right. And then you have to put forth extraordinary action. So while I'm going to give you the answers and it's a plug and play for this workbook, you have to actually take the action. You have to make it work. Right. You've got to do the work. Okay. So I just want to underscore that we're going to lead you. We're going to guide you. We're going to give you all the things. But at the end of the day, you've got to show up for yourself and actually take action. And that's what we want. We want you to be a part of this challenge. We want you to join us. We want you to learn and grow. But at the same time, more important than that, we want you to take action on everything that you learn, right? Because literally within the next hour, once we hop off of here, you can start taking action toward your goal of becoming a professional cheerleader. Over 70% of our graduates that, graduated from our Pro Cheer Playbook program have made teams. You can be in that 70%. We've had a new lovely come on every single night, Monday through Thursday. That can be you next year. Okay. Something cool before we kind of dive in here. I just want to share something with you. So Lizzie, I, sent her a message thanking her. She was on Monday night. She's a current Miami Dolphins cheerleader. And she just was saying how overjoyed she is because she was a success story, and she couldn't believe, it was kind of surreal being the person being interviewed, because she was in your shoes listening and hearing all of these amazing stories from different people that we work with, and seeing now that they are professional cheerleaders. And she just said it was so surreal, and she just appreciated us literally inviting her to be showcased within this challenge. And she just, was obviously thanking Sideline Prep and everything that we've done to help her, become a professional cheerleader. But guys, at the end of the day, right, we need to thank her. Like, we're thanking her, one, for sharing everything that she has learned with you guys and having that heart of care and giving, right? But then also thanking her for putting in the work, thanking her for, putting herself first and doing the work, taking our advice and taking action, right? She trusted enough in us to listen to what we had to say, to then act on what we had to say, and then actually show up at auditions and do the thing, right? And so guys, again, if she's able to do it, you all are able to do it as well, right? And we opened up enrollment for our Pro Cheer Playbook program. So if you were not able to join us last night, then hey, I'm telling you right now, the Pro Cheer Playbook program is open. We'll go ahead and drop that link in the comments so that you can go ahead and be a part of it. It's super simple. All you have to do is apply, and we will review your application, and then we hop on the call and we talk about it. We talk about whether or not it's a good fit for you, a good fit for us. And then from that point, we'll make a decision and we'll move forward to work together. Right. And so we want that for you. Like, we really do. We want you all to allow yourself to take action on your goals and on your dreams. We want you to allow yourself to put yourself first and go after your goals, and tell, the naysayers, tell the negative thoughts, tell, the doubt, the uncertainty, all of that. No, thank you. Goodbye. I don't need that right now. Right. We really want you to step into your next level you. And the only way that you really can do that, guys, is by putting your trust in yourself, that if this is a dream in your heart, and if this is something that you really want to do, then now is the time to do it. And then obviously we are here to assist and help you every single step of the way. Okay. And I just want to take just a few minutes to kind of show you guys really quick, especially for anyone that may have missed last night. And I'll actually turn this around so that you guys can see it. So Gabby says, not calling me out. Always write it down and say, oh, good point, but don't put in any action. I know, Gabby, you gotta put in the work now. You gotta put in the work. That's all it is to it, guys. It is all about putting in the work and doing the work. Okay, so really quick, if you missed last night, I do want to just quickly show you all, just really, really quick, our results: 19 NFL teams represented, 14 NBA teams, we've been able to place. And I just want to show you these pictures of these women and one gentleman that graduated from the PCP so that you all can kind of put yourselves in their shoes and know that if it's possible for them, then it's possible for you. Okay. Now, the ones that I'm showing you right now are just from 2022. If it's possible for them, it's possible for you. Okay. Just think about that, guys. See yourself right now. Envision, see yourself on these slides. If it's possible for them, it's possible for you. If it's possible for me, it's possible for you. If it's possible for Taylor, that we're going to talk to tonight, then it's possible for you. 2021, we had 22 rookies on 10 different NFL teams and 23 rookies on 13 different NBA teams. And here they are. You guys, if it's possible for them, it's possible for you. And I just want to remind you of that. If it's possible for women that English is their second language and they're living in Japan while they're in our Pro Cheer Playbook program and they make teams, then it's possible for you. Okay? Please, please remember that. Let them be your motivation. Let them be your inspiration. Because again, guys, if it's possible for them, it's possible for you. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and dig into our content so that we can get going and then get Taylor up here. So this tonight is all about being Pro Cheer ready. And when we're talking Pro Cheer ready, in this sense, we're talking about your Pro Cheer look, because your look from head to toe, absolutely important. Now, keep in mind, your look does incorporate nutrition and fitness as well. I know that we already talked about that the other night, but keep in mind that part of your Pro Cheer look from head to toe includes your fitness level. It includes your stamina. It includes what you're fueling your body with. It includes those workouts. So please make sure that you remember that. So here, let's go ahead and jump right in. And to underscore what I just said, the Pro Cheer look. When trying to obtain the Pro Cheer look, you want to determine your body shape and skin tone and undertone. Okay. You may also, let me repeat that. So you need to determine your body shape, your skin tone, and your undertone. You may also want to consider your hair and your eye colors. Okay. So when you are trying to craft your Pro Cheer look, it's not just about going to dallaswear.com or the lineup and saying, ooh, that outfit looks really good on her. I'm going to get that outfit for me. No, you really do need to consider the shape of your body, your skin tone, and your skin undertones in order to determine the cut of the audition attire that you plan on wearing and the color that's going to look best on you. And you also want to consider your hair and your eye color. All right. So it's super, super important to know what your body shape is. So in the comments, tell me, kind of based on these pictures that you see here, what shape do you have? Are you more rectangular, pear, hourglass, or cone? Okay, so just go ahead and put in the comments what you think you are. And as you're doing that, I'm going to just kind of talk through this. So if you are, let's start with cone. If you are cone, that means your shoulders are broader and you kind of go down, right? So in this situation, you do not want to wear a top that's going to accentuate the fact that you have broad shoulders. So halter tops you have to be careful with, because the halter is going to make from this part out look even wider. So you really want to be careful with halter tops, okay? If you are hourglass, congratulations. I secretly am jealous, but this basically means that you kind of have a perfect body and build. And almost any outfit that you put on, you're going to look great because you are equally proportioned and you go in the center so you don't have to worry about tugging stuff up high or wearing stuff a little low or making sure your top is up high or low. Hourglass, congratulations, you're pretty good. You're golden. Now, if you are pear shaped, it means that you are thinner up top and broader in your hips. So in that case, you don't want to bring attention to your hips. So for pear shape, you have to be really careful with wearing skirts or anything that is like has ruffles or brings attention to your hips. You also want to be careful with anything that is like a white short that's cut straight across or anything like that. Because again, it's going to be bringing that attention to your hips. If you're rectangle, which I am pretty much rectangle, I don't really have a lot of curves inward. My curves are on the backside coming out. With rectangle, you could do a halter top, but in this case, you want to make sure that your bottoms have that V in the front because it's going to elongate your torso and help give some sort of dimension and shape to your body. Now, that's literally the Reader's Digest version of recommendations. We have an entire training in our Sideline Attraction course that really helps you figure out what bathing suit style you should wear and what audition attire style you should wear based on your body shape. So let's go really quick. So Julia says she's a pear. Marcella says between a pear and hourglass, probably mostly pear. Stacy is one of the lucky ones. Stacy, go ahead, girl. Hourglass. Paramala, also hourglass. Let's see. Tanisha, hourglass. Jan, hourglass. You know what, y'all? I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Lucky you. All right, so there's some more, but just wanted to give you a couple of tips there. So let's see. Raina says, I will go to determine a personal body type and color by the next pro weekend for sure. You definitely want to figure this out so that you're wearing the right type of attire. Ken says rectangle. All right, awesome. All right. So again, that's kind of like Reader's Digest version. We do have an extended training, but this is important, guys. Not all audition outfits are created equal because you have to pick one that is good for your body. Then you want to make sure that you figure out what your skin tone is and your skin undertones. Okay. So some people are going to have, if you look at your veins, you might be like a greenish color vein, and then you could be blue. So green, I believe, is more of like the warm tones, and then the blue is you're going to be better with the cooler tones. So that's again why you need to understand what colors are going to look best on you. If you are, for example, extremely pale complected, we don't recommend you wearing white. Okay, you're going to want to go with some of more of the pastel-y type colors. If you are brown complected, then those bold colors like the bright yellows and reds and deep purples will look really good on you, right? So again, you really just want to make sure that you know these things before you just start purchasing different outfits, okay? Something to really keep in mind. So here we go, audition attire 4. And we're going to kind of go through all of these just so that you can kind of see it really quick. So here are all of the answers right here. So if you are warm undertone, if your veins are greenish, okay, so if you have the green vein, so look at your arm and put in the chat if you have green or if you have blue or purple veins. If you're green, then gold jewelry normally looks good on you, which is what I am. And then skin tans pretty good in the sun. You don't burn you don't burn that much. And so those are the colors above that are going to look good on you. If your veins are more blue purple, then again, that's when you're going to you have the cooler undertones and you look better in silver jewelry and you might burn a little bit easier. So then again, those cooler undertones are going to be, the cooler colors are going to be good for you. Okay. So again, guys, use this as a guide before you start purchasing audition attire. And then on the left-hand side, we do show you exactly the different styles of outfits that you can wear to complement your body type. So for example, that pear, you can see she's bringing the attention up at the top with the ruffly top and taking it away from the bottom. All right. So this is just a couple of examples of different options for you. So please, again, guys, use this as a guide to kind of help you out. Okay, so really quick, what's in your Pro Cheer bag? Here is our top 10 checklist. All right, so I'm going to go through this, write these all down. You want to make sure you carry all of this with you for auditions. First of all, you want to have an extra copy of your resume, your application, and your photo, just in case. You walk up to registration and you never know. They may have lost it or they don't have it or whatever it is. You want to make sure that you have an extra copy just in case. Extra audition or workout attire. You might say, okay, well, why? First of all, if there's a mishap, something malfunctions or breaks, you want to have a backup. Another reason, what if someone is there and you happen to buy it from a popular, store and they have on the exact same outfit that you have? So you want to make sure that you have extra of everything just in case. Extra tights. I know this goes without saying, but what if you get a run in your tights? You want to make sure that you have an extra pair. Obviously, your makeup and your hair products, super important to make sure that you have those, because anytime you have a break, you want to freshen up your look and you want to just make sure that you're good to go. And if you don't have all of your supplies with you, then you're basically wasting that break. So you'll have the opportunity to freshen up. Audition inspiration, hype music, playlist, and or our affirmations. You can literally go on our website, sidelineprep.com, and we have affirmations for literally audition day. And it's just a way to get you pumped and keep you in the right mind space. Okay, super, super important. Obviously, dance shoes and boots. You never know, depending on the floor that you're dancing on, depending on the style or genre of dance that you do, you may want to switch up your shoes. So it's important to have those. Snacks and water. Goes without saying. You need to hydrate and stay hydrated and have food just in case there is a break. Toiletries, deodorant, anything that you need to help freshen up. And then, of course, your mirror. All right. And then also any research notes or your ahas. We always recommend, like, a lot of our lovelies will take their PCP, their Pro Cheer Playbook binder with them so that they can go through their notes as they're waiting for different deliberations. So that's another thing that I would highly recommend you taking as well. Any notes, any ahas, if you're a member of the PCP, making sure that you take your binder as well with you. Okay. So Sadie is putting all of that information as well, typing it up in the notes for you. I know that I went a little fast, but again, I want to really just make sure that I have enough time to get Taylor on. Okay. So any questions that you might have about what I just went over, you can actually ask towards the end once I open it up for Q&A with Taylor. But I just want to make sure that you all understand and know that a lot of times what happens, unfortunately, is when you have a strong dance background, sometimes people will overlook or underestimate the importance of their look because they're like, oh, well, I can do triples and I can do fouette turns and I can do this, and that. And they're like, the look part, it doesn't really matter. And it works the other way, right? If someone is extremely gorgeous and they've, gotten compliments all their lives and, all that stuff, they're like, oh, well, my looks will get me through. What I want to make sure that you know is that you have to be the full package. So you have to make sure that you not only bring your A game with your dance, your nutrition, your fitness, your interview skills, all of that, but your look is so important. In my opinion, the top two areas that are on the judges' score sheet that are most important are your dance ability, performance, and showmanship, as well as technique, and your look. And with look, don't forget, again, that's from head to toe. It's your audition attire, it's your shoes, it's your hair, it's your makeup, and it's your fitness level. So this is super, super important. Please do not think that just because I went through those couple of sheets relatively fast, that means it's not important. It literally is. And that's one reason that we saved it for the last day, save the best for last, because it is really important. And you need to take your time crafting your look, figuring out what audition outfit you're going to wear. And don't forget about prep classes. You want to look your best for prep classes as well. So really making sure that you are, stepping up your game at prep classes too, right? You want to walk in and be noticed and be seen at prep classes as well. So putting some time into that as well. Super, super important. Okay. All right. So without further delay, I would love, love, love to bring on Taylor. She is one of our accountability coaches. Interesting little story here. I actually interviewed her originally to help me just run Sideline Prep because I needed a lot of help at the time. She was one of my first hires outside of coaches to just help me kind of get things in order. And then once I met her and realized her background and all of the experience that she had with all of these different pro teams, I'm like, you know what, Taylor? I think that you'd be better suited as a coach. I think that you have a lot of knowledge that you can share with our lovelies and really help them get the confidence that they need to not just make one team, but to go on to make multiple teams. So without further delay, I am going to welcome Taylor on right now. Hello, my lovely. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Yes. So good to see you. I know that we had a little bit of time to catch up before all of this kicked off, but just really, again, grateful that you are here to kind of share and just, I don't know, give of your time because literally we call on you almost every single challenge. And the reason we do is because you have such a unique story and you have such, a story of hearing those no's but then not giving up and keeping it going until you heard the yes and then another yes and another yes. You know what I mean? So I just really appreciate you being willing to just share.
Thank you. Well, I love being on. It's always such a pleasure to be part of Sideline Prep and, of course, watch the women and men go through the program and achieve their goals. I mean, that's the dream, right? So
It
I'm always
most definitely is. Well, thank you. Thank you. So what I would love, if you wouldn't mind, just because I want to make sure that everyone, has a background on you, your journey and all of that, I'm going to turn it over to you to just share your journey of becoming a professional cheerleader. And then we'll kind of get into your experience as an accountability coach for us.
perfect. So I'm going to try to keep it short, which I don't know that I'm ever good at doing. My journey was almost about 10 years. So in the beginning, I started at a minor hockey team. So don't always think that you have to go directly to pros. One of my favorite teams was still my first team. It was a minor hockey team in Austin. There were 9 girls, and I thought they were stunning, and I had to be one of them. I walked into auditions looking a hot mess. I looked like your typical college party girl. And luckily, I did something right, or the coach liked my personality or something. And she took a chance on me. She turned me into a young lady and ended up kind of pushing me, not kind of, she did. She pushed me to pursue NFL. She saw something more in me. So that is where I transferred and auditioned to the Miami Dolphins. I was grateful and lucky enough to have made that team on my first try and spent a year there. I loved it. Followed a boy, which is now my husband, and kind of left. I left Miami and went to Denver to follow him for work. I thought, man, I made Miami. I got this. I can make the Denver Broncos. Well, I was humbled very quickly and I made it to finals, but the coach told me, you're just not technical enough for this team. You're going to struggle. We think you're a lovely cheerleader. It's just not a good fit for us and for you. You just won't enjoy this experience because you'll be behind. So that was a humbling moment for me. I packed my bags, drove down to Dallas because they were the last audition. I had my dog and my bags in my car, drove to Dallas, auditioned, went to finals, and received another no. I was devastated at this point. I was frustrated that I left Miami. I had found a team that I thought was, my team, and I had let that go. So I looked at other teams, looked at what else I could do because I wasn't ready to be done. The no's to me were either not right now or not this team. So I looked at hockey because football auditions were done, and I auditioned for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Luckily I made that team and I moved to Tampa. Cheered with them for a year. I loved it, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for. I still wanted more of that performance atmosphere. It was a lot of, it was less performance and more of a promotional role, which was amazing and a great experience, just not what I was looking for. So I left and I went back to Houston, back to Texas, and I auditioned for the Houston Texans. I made the team, but I received a partial no because they told me I wasn't their dance style, but I could be on the team as a promotional model. So again, another humbling moment for myself. I had left a team because I wanted more performance. And then I went to a team that made it, but they told me I couldn't perform. I could be a promotional model for my looks. So stayed for a year, kind of saw that I wasn't going to get what I wanted out of that organization. Still amazing experience, met amazing women, still some of my best friends today. And, but I decided I needed to find the space that worked for me, the team that worked for me, that I could succeed and I could bring more to the table and they could give back to me as well. So I moved to Jacksonville, Florida, auditioned for the Jaguars, where I stayed for 3 years. And my final season with them, I was awarded Pro Bowl. So I finally found that team that fit both my lifestyle, where the city was more for me, the team that I could really bring my energy and my experience and everything that I had learned, and a team that would give me different opportunities that I was looking for. So that's kind of my journey in a nutshell. It's a lot to take in, but ultimately 5 teams that I made and a few no's in there as well. But my biggest takeaway with that is don't give up. You know, someone might say she's not the right fit for us, but you might be the perfect fit for someone else. Or maybe it's not this year, but maybe it's the next year. I have lots of teammates that have auditioned for, especially even Jags. They've auditioned for the team multiple times, and then they finally get that yes, and that was their timing. Their timing maybe wasn't the first year, it was the third year. So just don't ever give up. If you want it bad enough, put in the work and get that yes.
Yeah, I love that. And then also, like you said, okay, yes, you left the first team following a boy, but you also mentioned that that boy turned husband. So it all worked out. And I know that we already talked about it, but how is married life? How is all of that going? And I know that, probably makes you feel really good just knowing that you did make the right decision back then, because now you ended up marrying your Prince Charming.
Yes, married life is good. People say nothing changes, but I found that for us, it's more peaceful. I don't even know if that makes sense, but it's just peaceful. It's like, and we play husband and wife. It's just, I'm like, oh, I'm cooking dinner tonight. What do you want, honey? Or honey, I'm hungry. Like, we're just goofy with it. So good. But one thing my dad always said, and I know he didn't, this is not his quote, but he always used to tell me when I was younger, is life is like a perfectly written novel. And sometimes that chapter that you're in might not be that best chapter, but just keep on reading, keep on going, because that next chapter might be exactly what you're, trying to get to. So, and when I look at my journey, I'm like, oh my gosh, it was a perfectly written novel.
It
So,
really was, because the thing is, had you not made that decision to, go to another location, your story would be completely different. It would be completely different than what it is. And I love that. That whole love. I'm going to have to use that. Thanks, Dad. I'm going to have to use that one. So now kind of fast forward, and you've been one of our coaches for a number of years. And for those of y'all that don't kind of know about how we utilize our accountability coaches, but basically in the Pro Cheer Playbook program, each accountability coach is assigned a certain number of women to work with in a more intimate, deep way, in smaller groups and in one-on-one sessions. And so everyone gets a survey and everyone gets a bio of all of our coaches, and you get to request certain coaches to be your accountability coach. And they literally are your accountability coach to make sure you're staying on top of what you should be doing each week, checking in with you to make sure that you're doing okay, providing that one-on-one feedback for you, and literally being your cheerleader along the way. So they are intimately familiar with your journey over that 6-month period. And then even when, ladies come back and repeat, a lot of times they'll ask for their same accountability coach. So I know that you probably have tons and tons of inspiring stories that you could share about, any number of your lovelies that you've worked with in the PCP. But if you could, is there any one in particular that kind of stands out? And if so, if you could kind of talk to that and kind of share her story. You don't have to give names or anything, but just share her story.
So there is one in particular, and she is, I would say, in a sense, a very typical story, not in a bad way, but she joined the program. First year, I was her accountability coach, and she showed up, but she wasn't really present, if that makes sense. So She listened to what I had to say. She may have done the classes, but she did not put in the work. And she went to auditions, learned that she should have done more preparation. Um, and so she returned to the program. She came back and she dove in head first. She took everything we had to say. She was stretching. One of the things I always say is when you're watching TV and binging, get your yoga mat out and at least stretch. You can stretch while you're binging 4 hours of Netflix, or do an ab workout while you're watching your Netflix. So she dove in and started doing all of the things that we tell her to do, and we encourage them to try and see what works. She went to auditions. She made it further in the process of NFL. She didn't make the team, but learned even more. But what happened is she looked at her other options within that city. She ended up making a minor team, and now I feel like that experience has taught her so much because she's been in a uniform. She's been a part of a team. She sees the work that really goes into it. Because sometimes we say, oh, we're ready for 2-3 nights a week of practice. But then when you're in it, you realize, oh my gosh, I did work, but now the real work begins. And so watching her and her journey is not done yet. It's just began in the last couple of years. And I'm excited to see what happens with this audition season as she's taken that minor team experience and takes it to the pro in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, and that is, I mean, you kind of said it, but it is unfortunately sort of typical, just in the sense of there are some people that, join the program and life happens.
Yeah.
Life happens, and it just does. And you then see other people that are in the program that gave 110% and they're making the teams, and maybe you didn't get as much success. The wonderful thing though, as long as you successfully complete the program, part of our 100% satisfaction guarantee does allow you to come back in. We kind of give you a free pass, and she leveled up the second time that she repeated, which is wonderful. And so that's just kind of, a side note for all of you all. Obviously we want you all to come into the program and give 110%. Like ultimately that's what we want everyone to do, but we also understand that life happens. And so we have, a backup plan for you if you happen to need that backup plan. And the thing that you have to understand is that just because it may not have worked out that first audition, just like Taylor, just like this young lady, you have to keep going. You have to keep pushing forward because eventually you're going to hear the yes. So it's all in how it works. It's just how it works. So kind of shifting gears a little bit, because tonight is really about the pro cheer look, and you kind of had to mold and adjust your look for every single team. And that's what we recommend, guys, right? Is that you do your research and you kind of mold and adjust and change and adapt for every single team that you audition for. So can you kind of just talk through, like, because I know you also make a lot of your audition outfits, which is super cool. But kind of talk through that whole process of doing the research, figuring out what you're going to wear, your hair, your makeup, and all of that. And while you're doing that, guys, I'm going to just put up some before and after type pictures so that you all can kind of see different makeup before and afters, outfit before and afters as she's talking about her experience.
Yeah, so there's each team, of course, there's similarities, right? It's all pro cheer, but each team does have those little tweaks that you'll start to notice when you really dive in and look at the details. That's the biggest thing, is look at details. You might see, oh, she's a pretty face, I just need to be cute. Well, look at all of a sudden, if you look at, I'll take DCC for example. You look at the DCC look, they have the smoky eye with the nude or light pink lip. That is their look. That is what almost every single young woman has on that team, because that's what they want. They want that kind of girl next door. You look at Miami Dolphins, and they all have pretty much a bold lip, whether it's kind of a dark pink or a red. A lot of them have that color. So really look at what each team is doing as far as their makeup style, their makeup technique. Same with the Jaguars. They wanted either that kind of like dark red burgundy or a bright red. Of course, every skin tone is a little different. Not everyone can wear that bright orange red. Some people need maybe that darker toned burgundy red. That's the one I liked. So everybody's a little different. You just really have to kind of play with the makeup, but really look at the details. And look at the details of attire too. You'll start to see, I know Texans, they do almost like this party style um, audition attire. So they do a lot of like choker accents or wristband accents, fringe on their boots, even. They do fun stuff different than just your, nice top, nice bottoms, boots, or sneakers. So really look at all of the details. I think that's such a big help to really blend in with those veterans and look like you're ready and you've done the research for the team.
Yes, so great point. Is there anything that you can think of, like, as far as I know we always talk about do's and don'ts. Is there anything that you would say, like, definitely do and then definitely don't when it comes to either hair, makeup, attire, or anything like that?
Um, Definitely look natural. Just a little story. So my first team, when I say I looked a mess walking in there and looked like your college party girl, I had like the black hair underneath and the bleach blonde on top. That's not natural. That's not your girl next door. You want to look like it's naturally yours. Even if it's a vibrant red, if it looks good and it looks natural on you, then that's fine. If you're auburn, great. But the crazy hair colors, don't do that. Um, with attire, and I know Janine went over this, make sure it does flatter, your skin tone and your shape. Another story, my first team, I walked in with neon green lace and it was just so bad. I could probably find photos, but I don't know that I want to. Um, but I mean, find things that accent you. I mean, you guys are all beautiful. We've got beautiful shapes. We've got beautiful hairstyles and all these things. Accent you. You already are stunning. Just elevate that.
Yep. Love, 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 love that. And guys, you've got to put time and energy into it. And that's the thing. You don't want, like, we're telling you, prepare, like, put time and energy into it. So it should never be a situation where it's so funny because all of us have stories, right? Because when we were auditioning back in the day, there were no like pro cheer prep companies. There was no sideline prep. Like, sideline prep did not exist. So I remember, so funny, we all have stories. I remember going to my very first audition for, at the time, the Redskinettes, and I literally had on a black, okay, so first of all, I thought I was doing something because I bought 2 sports bras. One was white, so I had the white one on the bottom and the black one that was slightly smaller than the white one, so you could see the white trim on the, outside of the black. So it was like a two-tone thing that I had going on that I thought was just so amazing. And then black biker shorts. Biker shorts, guys. That's what I wore to an audition. And then the puffy, like, white socks that you kind of push down and some white sneakers. Who does that? Who wears that to anyone's audition? Me. That's what I did. Why? Because I didn't know to do my research. I didn't know that these women were going to come in all glammed up and looking gorgeous and amazing, not in like athletic wear, but you have to like prepare and do your research so that you go in and you look amazing, right? And so we're telling you these things. And there are companies out there like Dallas Wear, The Lineup, like there are tons of companies where you can go spend money on audition attire as well. But, Taylor, you make your outfits. So can you talk a little bit about that as well, as far as kind of like maybe the basic supplies that you would utilize to, craft an outfit?
Yeah, so crafting an outfit, I always had to audition on a budget because I was typically moving and having to pay for Airbnbs and flights or whatever. And so I was trying to, pinch pennies wherever I could. So with audition attire, I always tried to find a short. For me, I got a big booty. And so I got to be careful about wearing something that makes it even more obvious, or accents my hips a little too much in the wrong places. So I always found a short that fit really well. I may have spent money on the shorts, but as far as the top is a little bit, you can be a little bit more creative. You can get a really cool shaped sports bra. I mean, even on Amazon nowadays, you start looking at stuff. And the nice thing is you can purchase things, try it on. If it doesn't fit, return it. You don't like the fabric, return it. Um, or go to Victoria's Secret, look at what their bras look like, see what you can add to it. But get that shape in that top that works well, and then find things to add, whether it's fringe or rhinestones or one of the things I did for a few of the teams is on the shorts, I made sure there was belt loops. So I would buy little pieces of fabric and make a belt, and I would buy the patch that said NFL or a Jaguar's head, and I'd put it as like it was a belt buckle. Um, now that I say that, that sounded a little country, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, but with there's so many ways to really accent attire that we already use, and we already have. So there are ways to make it budget friendly, and play with it. Definitely make sure whether you're making it or buying it, wear it first and make sure it doesn't move crazy. Last thing you need is a malfunction.
Yep. Love that you brought that up. So we tell our lovelies that you need to be full hair and makeup, right? Full out, as in dancing full out, and full attire. Like that way you want to make sure that everything that you're audition ready, and now you're going to go dance full out to make sure nothing pops out, breaks, rips, or whatever. So full hair and makeup, full, like literally full attire, and then full out with your movements just to make sure everything is good to go. So guys, I would love to open it up for Q&A. So if you have a question, just put in all caps question. That way we can get, some questions answered before people start heading out to like downtown, wherever, or this Friday night. Did want to show, Julia said, I wore basketball shorts to my first audition. I had no idea what the pro world was about. Luckily, I've learned a lot since then. Yes, and Julia is one of our $1,000 scholarship winners as well. So she's going to be joining us in the Pro Cheer Playbook program. So congratulations to you. Super exciting. So guys, if you have any questions, just put in all caps, question, if you could. While we're kind of waiting for the questions to come in, because I know, like I mentioned, you've done this for quite a lot of years, at least with us, and you've worked with a lot of women that have ended up making teams. Is there any particular feedback or any particular like mistake or opportunity for improvement that you've seen kind of, program after program with your ladies, or things that you feel like you're constantly repeating with your accountability group?
I think the two biggest words are commitment and consistency. If you don't have those two things are going to fall through the cracks. Yeah, I mean, especially with consistency. I mean, you might start, moving head on and ready to go, but if you don't maintain that momentum, you're going to kind of slip and fall behind, and then things are just you're not going to be prepared like you want to be on audition day.
Yep. I totally agree. And that's why, at the beginning of our program, we talk about the importance of time blocking and not trying to fit the Pro Cheer Playbook program and Pro Cheer prep into your life, but instead putting time on your schedule for Pro Cheer prep and then fitting your life around that, so that the non-negotiable is the time that you're putting in for your goals and for your dreams. And we actually go over how to do that and make sure that you stay committed to it. If you all remember, we spoke to Luna, and Luna mentioned that she had a goal that every single week she was going to learn at least one dance routine, one DCC rhythm and blue routine at least once a week. Right. And that's because she wanted to post it in the Facebook group and get feedback. So it was super important from a consistency standpoint for her to meet that goal every single week. And of course, it ended up paying off in the long run. So perfect. All right. So Julia says, what glue did you use to keep the rhinestones on? I have created my own before, but the rhinestones tend to come off. Do you have any tips? Great question.
Yes. And I was just talking about this with my husband last night because he wants to use it. And I'm blanking on the name, but I think it's E6 1000 or 6000, E6000.
Yep. That sounds familiar. Yep.
Yeah. I think it's E6000, and it's super easy to use. I would use tweezers, practice a couple times before you do it on your official attire. On cardboard or anything, just to make sure you know how the glue works and how your placement is.
Yeah, perfect. And guys, then also be mindful of like how you're washing your attire too. So like if you're, hand making your attire, 9 times out of 10, you need to hand wash it. So you also want to just be mindful of that. And then also just making sure that the glue properly dries before you try to put it on or anything like that as well. And then obviously, I know this goes without saying, but make sure that you always have extra rhinestones so that if they do happen to pop off, then you just can replace the ones that pop off. Okay. Okay, here's another question from Jan. When the Texans asked you to fulfill a different role than what you auditioned for, did that discourage you at all, or did something new come from it?
I'm gonna say both. So of course I was discouraged because I had left a team because it was more promotion and I was looking for that performance atmosphere. And I was told once again, you're just gonna be promotion. It turned out to be a really great opportunity. Like I said, I was able to be in the suites. I got to meet fans. I was part of moments. If you've ever seen at NFL games when someone from overseas comes over or comes home and they meet their family. I mean, being right there on the field, a lot of the times it's not just the cheerleaders that get to do that opportunity. It's the promotional women that are part of that. And being right there and seeing those things or presenting a giant check to a charity. So there were a lot of other opportunities that I wasn't aware that I would get to do. But of course, in the beginning, I was discouraged. I was questioning if I should take it, but I think at a lot of the times you just got to say yes because you don't know what is right around the corner.
Yep, most definitely. I agree. And guys, you have to remember that, every no gets you closer to that ultimate yes. So it may not seem like that's the yes that you want, but maybe that's the yes that you need at that time. Okay, here's the next question. I've never danced any cheer, always dance. What's the difference? The difference between, I guess, dance and cheer.
So luckily, a lot of pro teams are very dance related. There's a lot of kick line, double turns. The technique is there as far as a dance aspect. I would say the biggest thing is with pro cheer, it's all about performance. It's about being big and bold. So not your ballet or your lyrical, but more of your jazz or hip hop type styles. So that would probably be my closest. If you have a dance background, you'll be fine. Just work on that power and um, that presentation. Because if you think about it, when you're performing, whether it's on a court or ice or a field, your fans are way up at the top, and at the bottom on the field, you look tiny. They see little shiny pom poms, and you look like a little ant down there. So you have to be big and bold, but still use that dance background.
Yeah, most definitely. Great, great, great. And guys, I mean, here's the thing, because depending on kind of your experience and like my background was not dance. So my background was cheer. So I think people sometimes get confused because we're called professional cheerleaders. The majority of the cheer teams on the professional level, we're dancers, but we're called cheerleaders. So there's this confusion of what it all means. And so for me, I had a cheer background that literally was the motions, like, go spiders, like with the motions. And there are some dance. So for example, the Ravens, I kind of consider their style cheer dance because it's very motion-based dances, but they're still dancers, if that makes sense. So at the professional level, you need a certain amount of technique, because normally the cheerleaders or the dancers, you've got to do the single pirouettes, the doubles, the leaps, the calypsos, and all of that. For the NFL, like Taylor mentioned, when you're in a stadium, you're dancing up and big, and it's normally bigger movements. And then NBA dancing is going to be, maybe hip hop, more grounded, and there's more versatility at the NBA level. But regardless of if you have a dance background and not a cheer, you can learn motions, and motions are going to help you be more powerful with your dancing. If you have a cheer background and no dance experience, it's going to come in handy because you're already sharp and precise with your movements. So it helps regardless, is I guess what I'm saying. And just because you may not have one or the other doesn't rule you out from being able to become a professional cheerleader. And trust and believe, we've had lovelies that had neither and worked with us and still made teams. Crystal, that I showed you all, was it last night? She didn't have a dance or cheer background, and she ended up making First Ladies of Footballs on the cover of their calendar twice. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. Okay, sorry. So next question here. With you, with your audition journey being almost 10 years, what was your motivation to continue auditioning with without giving up? Without giving up.
Ooh, that's deep. Um, I think the biggest thing was I was looking for that right fit. So for me, every team was amazing. I'm grateful for all the experience. I loved my first team. I would have probably stayed at my first team, but unfortunately they got disbanded. And so it kind of pushed me. I wasn't ready to be done. So it pushed me to to chase something else. Um, and like I said, I loved every single team, but for me, it was that passion of I was looking for more and more and more. And it's weird. I mean, Janine's journey is a very long one too. And I think once you're in that realm, it's so much fun and you're basically this local celebrity and you're part of something that's so much bigger than you are, and you really look around on game day or in the locker room or even practice and you see that you're this like little piece of the puzzle, and sometimes it's kind of hard to let go of that. It's just so enjoyable. And to be able to make an impact with whether it's young women like you or little kids, when little kids come up and they see pom poms and they've got sparkles in their eyes. There's so many moments that just keep you going. And I think this may not be true for everybody, but I would believe that it's easier to stay than it is to leave. So I think once you're in it, it's harder to leave than it is to stay.
Oh my gosh, you're so right. You're so right. There's so many more reasons to stay than to go. Oh my gosh, that is such a true statement. And what's interesting about it all, for me personally, and I'm sure this was the case with you, when you find a team or you find, women that you enjoy being around, like literally you feel like you're going to a party every single practice. Like it's the best feeling to know that you have a sisterhood and that you have women that are always going to be there for you. I mean, I am the godmother to one of the cheerleaders that I dance with, Jeanette, and now she's a part of my company. So like you end up cultivating these relationships as well, and then you're a part of something so much bigger than yourself. You really are a part of something so much bigger. And when you get a taste of that, and then you audition for another team and maybe you hear no, you still remember that and you still want to keep going for it. And so everyone has different motivations, but I would definitely say you're absolutely right. It's pretty much the same for me as well. And it's just that feeling of being a part of something so much bigger than anything, and having an impact on the military and the young kids and all of those things. It's just, you're just little old you, but to other people, you're a big deal. And it feels good. All right. So I know that there were some questions over here. I was peeking, trying to see if there were any questions on IG. So let me get those for you. Gabby is just blowing you up. So much encouragement over here. So thank you, Gabby, for all the love. She says, Taylor, I saw you on the field when you danced with Miami. She is a queen. Oh, love, love, love. She's so perfect. Okay, awesome. Taylor, did you use the nose as fuel for each audition and each team you auditioned for? So kind of a follow-up, very similar to the one that was just asked.
Yes. So to kind of go back to that too. So I make very light of how my journey was, right? It sounds all, oh, I just bounced around and made teams and it's easy. It wasn't that. There were so many phone calls to my dad crying, saying, why am I doing this? What is the point? When I would get the no, I'd be like, maybe it's just not for me. Maybe I should have been done, or I should have never left Miami, or what was I thinking? And there was so much doubt in my mind, but there was always those moments that I was like, I'm not done. And you kind of have to pull yourself out of these. I always called them my anxiety attacks. I would just have these meltdowns. One of them was in a Chase parking lot in my car. I mean, I was like, I'm driving home. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And you almost have to just take a deep breath and kind of go through those things that I just mentioned of why I stayed and why I continued, and say, this is why I'm doing this. It's not for anybody else. This is what I want. And really, it's mindset. You got to change your mindset and push yourself forward, because life is tough. There's ups and downs, And sometimes when you're in those down moments, you never think you're going to get back up again. But as long as you keep trekking forward and you keep putting in the work, next thing you know, you are on the highest roller coaster you've ever imagined. So the no's are hard and they're tough. But what I always say is take a day, cry it out, and push forward.
Yep, most definitely. That's all you can do, guys. It's so I mean, do y'all hear this theme? This theme that's coming up night overnight, overnight, right? Someone else mentioned, I think it was it Lizzie that basically was like, okay, yeah, I was upset. You give yourself some time to be upset and be sad about it, and then you got to brush it off and move on, right? It's only going to make you stronger. And the thing to kind of keep pushing you forward, if you kind of remember this quote, every no gets you closer to your yes. So you're like, okay, I just got to know. That means I'm closer to my yes. Okay. So it's all about how you frame it. It's all about the meaning that you give it. You can give it a meaning of, oh my God, it's the end of the world. This is horrible. I can't believe I heard a no. They hate me. They don't like me. I'm not worthy. I'm never going to audition for another team. No one's ever going to take me. That's one meaning. Not healthy, not productive, not useful. The other meaning is, okay, I heard a no. How can I grow from it? How can I learn from it? What do I need to do better? How could I prepare it in a better way? Oh, and by the way, I'm closer to my yes now because I just heard a no. Right. So it is all in the meaning that you give it. Here's another question. And guys, if y'all have any more questions, put them in the chat. If not, I'm going to be letting Taylor go soon to enjoy her Friday evening with her husband. Did you switch up your look for each audition based on their style?
A little bit. Luckily, most of my teams did kind of have similar looks, especially the Florida teams were slightly similar. But with Texans, like I said, I looked and saw that they did all these fancy, chokers and whatever. And that wasn't totally me, but I tried to do the little hand, I guess they were armbands, like the sweatbands. And I made a fringe on the side. I had fringe on my little bra just to tie it all together. And so I always did try to match the look and, of course, the style. If they were a little bit more hip hop and low, then I would take more hip hop classes, not so much kickline or jazz or pom. So, I mean, it really is doing your research. I think that the teams that I wasn't prepared for, like Denver and Dallas, is exactly why I got no's. Because if I would have really looked at Denver instead of looking at how cute their uniforms are and looked at, they're adorable. I still wish I could have worn that uniform. But instead of looking at that and really looking at, what their style was, I probably immediately would have said either I need to get into technique classes now, or this is just not the right fit for me. Because I've never been the girl that can do fouettes and I don't know, crazy moves. And so they were doing that in auditions and I was just doing my best and kept a smile on. So I would definitely say that I did change my look and my style as much as I could once I researched.
Yeah, perfect. And that's what we recommend, guys. You have to tailor, what you're doing for the team that you're going for. And that's just like any other job that you would go for. You would update and tweak your resume slightly if it's a social media position that you're going for versus a teaching position. You're going to highlight different skills on your resume based on the job. And it's the exact same thing when you're auditioning for teams. So Julia says, I've heard 6 no's and I've learned so much from them. It's made me a better person, better dancer, and allowed me to continue to level up. Most definitely, Julie. And that's really what it was all about. And Taylor, kind of maybe talk about that a little bit when you did hear the no's and after you called your dad and you were able to settle down and you're like, okay, what did you do as far as reflection or like a self-assessment to kind of get ready for the next thing?
I mean, self-assessment was a huge thing. So I hate to say this. I thought I was the best thing ever once I made Miami. I'd made Miami. I can make any team. I can do it. And I had this big head. And so when I went to Denver, like I said, I looked at their uniforms and I was like, I'm going to wear that. And I was such a brat. I'm grateful that I was humbled. Because then it brought me back down to earth and basically, how did I make Miami? What did I do to get there? and how am I going to be that person again that can make this team? But to go back, it's just, sorry, can you read the question again? I do this all the time. I'm talking and then I get lost.
It's okay. Just like actually, but how you were answering my question. You were talking about a self-assessment. So I was just basically saying when you hear a no, what do you do to kind of say, okay, well, why did I not make the team in order for you to set up that plan of action to move forward? So you were saying you do a self-assessment.
Yeah. The interviews too. I don't know how I get. Um, I and really you just have to look back at your whole package. What did you bring? And then I don't like saying this, but looking at the people around you that did make it, what did they bring to the table that maybe you were missing? Was it the look, or was it, the technique, or were they more prepared? Just things like that, and how you can, like we say, level up to be that person that you need to be on that team. Sorry, now I answered the question.
Yeah. And guys, we are human. So listen. But again, guys, like another theme, right? Like we didn't even plan this. We didn't mean for this to happen. But this is another theme that we've been talking about, is that you have to be your authentic you when you're in an interview situation. You have to show up as who you really are, true to yourself, because the judges are going to appreciate that. They're going to see that. They're going to recognize that you're human and that you are uniquely you. And that's the beauty of it all, right? So I love that happened. And that's the other thing. We get caught up in our own stories, right? You were telling us a story and you're like, wait a minute, what am I talking about? See, look, Miriam says, oh my God, I love her. So authentic. See, right there. Yes. And then, yes, Tanisha says, yes, Taylor is preaching a word tonight. Indeed, indeed, she is. And look at this picture of Taylor right here. She took that at one of our photo shoots, because I recognize Drew's yellow chair. I was there for that photo shoot. So good to see you, girlfriend. All right, awesome. So as we wrap up tonight, I don't see any other questions coming in, but as we wrap up tonight, I would love if you wouldn't mind just giving 2 pieces of advice. Advice as a candidate, being that you have been in those shoes and you've, auditioned multiple times for different teams, and then advice as a coach/judge, because you've also participated in our mock audition and have been a judge and obviously are one of the accountability coaches. So kind of wearing those 2 separate hats, what advice would you have for everyone on that obviously has this goal, has this dream of becoming a professional cheerleader?
So I would say advice coming into the program and being a candidate is know what you want. Know what you want out of it. Really understand what this program can give you, but know what you want out of it. We have all the tools, but look a little deeper of what you need to do, some soul searching for you, and what the goal is. Instead of just it being a dream, have that goal. So that would be for the candidates. As far as a coach, dive in. If you're going to do this, give it your all. Once you have that goal, don't let it go. I mean, this is it. Like, the time is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not a year from now. The time is now. Do it now, and don't ever look back.
Love, love, love that. Great way to close out tonight. Guys, what did I just say last night? It is your time to go pro. It is your time to step on the field, step on the court, and do that thing. It's your time to go pro. Exactly what Taylor just said. If you're going to do this, do it 110%. Go all in. Like, don't just dip your toe in the water, get a feel for it and be like, no, jump all the way in. Because once you jump all the way in and you're totally vested in the process, oh my gosh, the sky is the limit. The sky is literally the limit. Oh, that was a great way to close out. So thank you so much, Taylor. I so appreciate you. If you can share your IG so people can connect with you on IG and just, kind of follow you, see how life is now for you.
So it's pretty simple. It's Taylor Brown XO. So TaylorBrownXO. I've yet to change my last name, so one day.
One day. All right. Well, sending you some XO, some hugs and kisses. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Really do appreciate you sharing your journey and just giving as you always do to our community. And have a good rest of your evening and a wonderful weekend. It was great to see you.
Thank you, ladies.
All right. Bye. All right, guys. I just thought it was super important for you all to hear from another coach other than myself, but hear from someone that has been to multiple different teams, but also multiple different leagues, right? So she went to different leagues and got experience as a professional cheerleader as well. Like, obviously, I've done that as well with the NFL and NBA, but Taylor's done even more than me, right? So it really is important, guys, for you all to not, be so focused on one team and only this team. You really want to make sure that you open up the possibilities and you have different options and that you're willing to try different things and to just see kind of what's out there for you. Okay. So what I wanted to do really quick before we kind of wrap up and I, share the winner for tonight is just show like just a couple of testimonials so that you all obviously can just know that you are in the right place. Within our Pro Cheer Playbook program, we give tons and tons of feedback. So here's, just a message basically saying, thank you so much for the amazing feedback. I was so nervous making this whole video, but your feedback and corrections made me feel 10 times better. I really love all the corrections that you give with the kit combination. That's very helpful. Also my turns, I'm used to doing gymnastic turns. And when I do dance turns, it's very different. So just tons and tons of feedback on the Pro Dance Academy, which you all get an entire year's access, and you get that one-on-one specific feedback from us. Great feedback. I don't understand everything you're saying. It's so cute. Thank you for clearing this up. I love pigeon pose. I will make sure I do it more often. I did not realize to write jetés. So embarrassing. Thanks for letting me know. So just again, tons of feedback that we're giving you on a constant basis with all of the things. Finally, I could watch the video. Thank you so much for your feedback. I will work harder. Thank you so much for this wonderful feedback. And this is what we do, guys. Like, we want you to succeed. And the only way you can succeed is if you know what you're doing wrong. So we are giving you that one-on-one feedback. It's not, while it is a group coaching program, you're getting very specific one-on-one tailored feedback. Thank you for your feedback. I definitely struggle with coming up with the moves for freestyle. Sometimes I just feel lost, and I'm really hoping to become more comfortable with it as I go through this program. Excuse me. I don't want to limit myself, but I just freeze in the moment. A work in progress for sure. And hey, guys, we are all a work in progress. So just kind of keep that in mind. And I want you all to, really understand. I'm so excited because we got so many applications once we opened up enrollment last night. But for anyone that has not yet filled out that application, what are you waiting for? You're here with us tonight for a reason. This goal, this dream is in your heart for a reason. Go for it. Get on the phone with me. Let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. And we will figure out the best plan of action for you. If it's money, don't worry about that. We'll figure that out too, right? We said it's valued at almost $9,000. It's not even a third of that, okay? It's not even a third of that investment. So please understand and know, we will meet you where you are. We have a 12-month payment plan as well as an 18-month payment plan, right? Another reminder, 19 NFL teams, 14 NBA teams, amazing satisfaction results. We help women internationally from Japan get on teams. If we can help them, we can help you as well. And then look at this, guys, just from this year. Just from the auditions this year, all of these amazing women and gent made teams. And the majority of these people that you see are graduates from our Pro Cheer Playbook program, right? And again, I said it a million times earlier today, if they can do it, you can do it. Another slide of amazing lovelies that made teams. I just want you all to keep pushing forward because this can be you. It literally can be you. The only person stopping you right now from going pro and leveling up is you. Literally, you are the only person. You cannot put it on anyone else. You can't say, well, I'm not getting support from my mom or my dad or my boyfriend or whatever. The only person stopping you at this moment in time from reaching any goal or dream that you have in your life is you. Because you create everything that you have in your life. You literally create it. You are in control of it. And the best part, guys, is that you have a team of people that are willing to help you fast track your way. Literally, just cut out all of the things that you shouldn't do, because we're going to tell you what not to do. We're going to tell you what to do. We're going to show you how to do it. And we're going to give you feedback along the way to make sure that you're doing it correctly. We are here for you. We are your guides. We're your coaches. We're your cheerleaders. And we're going to be your family too, right? Because that's how we do it. That is literally how we do it. Okay, so what I want to do is make sure that you all know, because it's not over, even though technically this is our last evening, we want you to get back in the Facebook group and go ahead and fill out your score sheet. So according to our top 10 list of items that we recommend that you have in your dance bag, how many of those items are already in your bag? So how many of those items, they don't physically have to be in your bag, but in a sense of how many of these items have you already purchased and that you already have? And you get 1 point for each of those items. Okay. And there were 10 of them. Okay. So that's going to be your homework for tonight. We're still going to be in that group looking to see who is doing their homework and who is still playing full out. The next thing that I wanted to do is announce the winner for our $50 Amazon gift card. And that winner is Raina. So congratulations, Raina. I think that you are in Japan and you have been joining us every single evening this week with a huge time difference. I think it's super, super early in the morning in Japan. So thank you so much for being here and staying dedicated and being a part of our family. And you have just won a $50 gift card. So congratulations. Super, super excited for you. All right, guys, before we wrap things up, I just want to find out or see if there are any other questions that you all might have for me before we wrap up. I can't believe we're already at the end. Whew, right? So as I'm waiting to see if there are any questions, I do want to remind you of your score sheets, making sure that you kind of get in. And if you haven't had a chance to do all of them, go ahead and fill out everything. You can watch the replays. We are going to keep those up for a little bit. If you scored between a 0 and 39 on your score sheet, we need to get back to practice and we have some things that we need to work on. If you scored between a 40 and 49, you made it to finals. So you're almost there. You are getting there. If you scored a perfect 50, then hey, it's time to go pro because you are a pro. Okay. So this is basically what the actual score sheet results look like. And then if you have been following along, you know that this is the actual score sheet where you're going to put your scores for every single evening. Again, if you have missed a night, it is okay. It is completely okay because you can actually go back, watch the replays, and just pick up where you left off and go ahead and fill out that score sheet. And then obviously we are here if you have any questions. And of course, I really, really love the support that you all have. And yes, Raina says, thank you. Great mornings for me. Yay. I'm glad that you could start your mornings off with us. We do appreciate your commitment and just being here. All right, guys. The 5 days finally coming to an end. It has been absolutely amazing spending this time with you all, sharing with you all, and hopefully just, providing you all with more information and knowledge than you knew before you came in and started this challenge with us on day 1, which was Monday. What I want to urge all of you all is to just take a deep breath right now. And you're going to breathe in what's possible for you and breathe out any insecurities, doubts, or uncertainties. And just with any and everything in life, not just with Pro Cheer, obviously that's kind of, obviously the content and the main focus of, this challenge and of Sideline Prep. But with Pro Cheer and literally anything in life, guys, it's possible for you. You can do it. And I don't want you all to let life, work, negative people, negative news, murders, death, all of the things that go on in our life on a regular basis, negative people, people trying to pull you down. I don't want you to allow those outside distractions to impact your inside peace. Because your internal peace is the most important thing. Because when you have peace internally, then you are showing up happy. You are showing up empowered. You are showing up as the best version of yourself that day. And that's going to give you the power and the motivation and the momentum to continue to push forward and to be better today than you were yesterday. It's also going to help you send out vibrations of peace, positivity, love, happiness, and excitement. And when you send out those types of energy and that type of vibration, guess what? That's what you're going to attract back to you. And you're going to start to see things unfolding for you. You're going to start to see accomplishments. You're going to start to see doors opening up for you. You're going to start to see opportunities falling in your lap. But it starts with you and your internal peace. Do not allow outside distractions to impact your internal peace. Okay? You can do it. Anything that you put your mind to, you can do. Anything that you want to accomplish in your life, if you have faith in yourself that you can do it, and you put forth extraordinary action and effort, then it will happen for you. You just have to stay committed to the process and be consistent, just like Taylor said. Stay committed to your goals, stay committed to your dreams, stay committed to what it is that you want and that you desire. Take action consistently and watch life literally unfold for you. I am proof that if you put your mind to something, anything is possible. I have always wanted to be here in a station as an anchor. I have always wanted to be an anchor woman. Like that's just something since college that I've wanted to do. And I finally decided that I was not going to continue to allow my own personal doubts prevent me from moving forward. And as soon as I took that leap, I landed softly and I am soaring. I can't wait for what's next. And that's what I want for you. I want you all to know that that is possible for you as well. And within the Pro Cheer Playbook program, the same techniques, the same habits, the same rituals, the same mindset, the same Post-its that I have around my house, I'm sharing it all with you. I am literally going to be opening up everything that I've learned, spending thousands and thousands of dollars in different coaching programs with different mentors and different coaches. Everything that I've learned that has helped me to be successful and, own Sideline Prep and have 3 full-time people on my payroll, along with 6 accountability coaches, as well as being a full-time anchor. All of that success and all of the things that enabled me to be who I am today, I am going to be sharing with you all as part of the Pro Cheer Playbook program, because if it's possible for me, then I know it's possible for you as well. Oh, and also don't forget 11 years as a professional cheerleader. Not just a cheerleader, but a co-captain and a captain and a most valuable wizard girl and a Lifetime Achievement Award recipient and a 2-time cover model and a Pro Bowl cheerleader. Oh, and an in-game host for the Washington Spirit, the Baltimore Brigade, the Washington Wizards, and the Washington Commanders. Guys, I'm just like you. If I can do these things and accomplish these things, then you can too. Just let me help you. Let me guide you. Let me be your cheerleader, your coach, right? Because if it's possible for me, and if it's possible for all of our lovelies turned pro cheerleaders, then it's possible for you. And I want you to put that in the comments. Put it in the comments. It's possible for me. It's possible for me, right? Because I want you all to remember that. I really want you all to remember it, feel it, believe it, and know it. Anything you put your mind to, guys, as long as you have faith in yourself and you put forth action, consistent action, then it is possible for you. It really is possible for you. And I want to help you all. And I get so excited about this because I know what is in store for you. I really do. I know what is possible for you guys, because sometimes you don't have the belief, you don't have the faith. And that's because you've been knocked down. People have treated you wrong. People have, told you that it wasn't possible for you. Maybe you didn't grow up in a home with that positive reinforcement. My mom and dad were constantly pumping us up all of the time. We were athletes, so we had to have that winner mentality. Not everyone is like that. And I have my downs, but I also have the tools, the tactics, and the habits to help pick me up. And I have the community. And that's what we are trying to offer to you as well. Okay. That is literally what we want to offer for you as well. And I'm just so excited, guys. I'm really excited about what is in store for you all. I'm really excited about just what is next for all of us on this journey called life together, if that makes sense. All right. So let me go in and just see if there are any questions. And I'm going to get off of my soapbox in a second. I just get so excited, as you all can probably see. Let me go ahead and drop the link here for you guys. Sadie has it up at the top, but let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. It is sidelineprepprocheer.com/procheer apply. I know someone just asked, and let me see if I can find the slides so that I can put that up for you guys. But it's sidelineprepprocheer.com. Here, let me just put it in here. sidelineprepprocheer.com/pro cheer apply. Go HTTPS boom, boom, boom. There you go. So that is the link to go ahead and apply for the program. And let me see. Yes, 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 Raina. Will let all distractions out of my days. Yes, Jan, internal peace, guys. That's what it's all about. Stacy says, thank you again for dropping all the knowledge this week. I loved hearing all the new success stories. Stacy, don't forget, girlfriend, you are one of our success stories as well. You are most definitely one of our success stories. Leanne, oh, thank you, Leanne. You're an inspiration too. Love you so much. She's our director of coaching. And then, Michelle, I just put that link there for you. And on that page, you'll find all of the information about the program and what is included. It's an honor to have you as part of our community, Leanne. Yes, yes, yes. It is possible for me, guys. This is what I love to see. It is possible for me. It is possible for me. It is possible for me. Yay! Oh, let's see. Y'all are amazing. All right. So, quick question here. How do you stay so glamorous? Miss G. Guys, okay, truth. Truth. First of all, thank you. That means the world to me. Anyone that knows me knows that I am a tomboy at heart. And the worst part about this job as an anchor is that I have to put on makeup every day. But I actually, guys, produce my own shows here as well. So I don't just anchor the shows, I produce them, which basically means I put in all the stories, I write the teases, I like literally do the entire show by myself. I do have reporters. They're out getting packages and writing stuff for me as well. But I'm organizing stuff. If I'm short on time, I'm writing stuff, cutting videos and everything. So a lot of times I literally have 5 to 10 minutes to throw my makeup on before I am running in here, literally running in here to get in front of the camera to hear Mike say 5, 4, 3, and then, I'm going on 1. So thank you for that. But I think technically it's a lot of water. I drink a lot of water, and I think that helps make my canvas, my skin smooth and pimple free and all of that. So I'm able to only have to spend 5 minutes on my makeup because I start with a pretty decent canvas. So I really, really appreciate that. But guys, believe it or not, this little makeup job was done in 7 minutes. 7 minutes, like super, super quick. It's not the best, but hey, it is what it is. But thank you so much for that compliment. I really do appreciate it. Okay, guys, that is it. Happy Friday evening. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really, really do appreciate it. It has been such an amazing week. It has been so nice reading through all of your applications that have been coming in. If you are on the fence, jump off of it. Jump head first, go on the other side, apply for the program. Let's get on the phone and let's make this happen for you. It is your time, guys. You're here for a reason. It is your time to go pro, and I cannot wait to work with you all. Our coaches are absolutely amazing. We care more than anyone else out there. We care more than anyone else out there, okay? Put your trust in us and just apply for the program, and let's see where life can take you. All right. Well, that is it. I am Janine Samuel signing off for Sideline Prep, and all of our Sideline Prep coaches wishing you success in all that you do. Can't wait to read your application and start working with you in our Pro Cheer Playbook program. Love you guys. Have a great night and a wonderful, wonderful weekend.